Finally, see, start. Sir, at the outset, I may mention that government is not in a position to accept this resolution. I cannot also subscribe to the assumption which is contained in this resolution. The assumption is that there is shortage of agricultural labor in the country. Sir, we have had inquiries conducted with regard to this matter. There has been the agricultural labor inquiry conducted by the Ministry of Labor in the year 1990-1991, and there have been the inquiries conducted under the auspices of the Planning Commission also, and I do not want to tire the house with the figures contained in the Labor Inquiry Committee report and also in the chapter on agricultural workers which is contained in the 7th 5-year plan. Suffice it to say that the conclusion arrived at by the Planning Commission is that about 30% of rural families are agricultural laborers, and according to the Planning Commission, this vast number presents a very serious problems. It is also the conclusion of the Planning Commission that the present agricultural production in the country could be maintained with about 75% of the number of workers now engaged in it. Sir, it is true, as has been stated by my friend, that there may be certain pockets in different parts of the country where there may be shortage of agricultural labor. But taking an overall view of the position in the country, the problem really is that it is not one of shortage of agricultural labor, but one of unemployment and underemployment, and that is why, sir, so many steps have been suggested by the Planning Commission, such as expansion of work opportunities within the rural economy, especially through intensive development of village and small scale industries, and also adoption of a measure of redistribution of land and provision of educational facilities and concessions to raise their social status and enable agricultural labor to develop greater confidence, initiative and ability to avail themselves of all economic opportunities. There are also suggestions of the Planning Commission which require us to improve the living conditions of the agricultural laborers. Sir, with regard to the point that there are certain areas in which there is excess of agricultural labor and certain areas where there is real shortage, I have to say that there are plans which have been adopted. Then, sir, a point has been raised by the mover that in certain peak seasons there is real difficulty in finding agricultural labor. I may state that there is some difficulty experienced during harvest time and the weeding season, when there will be the outbreak of monsoon, when replanting of seedlings will have to be done, but the situation is not such as to warrant the appointment of a committee to go into this question at all. I would say, sir, had it not been for those circumstances existing in certain peak periods when agricultural labor is in a position really to dictate terms, it is horrible to conceive of their lot in the slack seasons, so that we have to put up with that situation. Even in those seasons, we find there may not be lack of personnel, but the labor may be in a position to dictate terms. There may demand and get increased wages at that particular period, whereas they may have to be satisfied with very low wages in other parts of the year. So, sir, I feel that it is not possible for the government to accept this resolution. Taking India as a whole, as I have stated, to meet this question of underemployment, we have provided in the 7th 5-year plan 40 crores of rupees for assisting in the settlement of landless agricultural workers, and 50 crores of rupees are proposed to be spent by states for the resettlement of landless agricultural workers. The main lines of development in this regard are encouragement of cottage and small scale industries, large increases in agricultural production including animal husbandry and horticulture. I may also state for the information of the House that the Ministry of Labour are conducting, with the help of the National Sample Survey, another agricultural labour inquiry to investigate into the scope of employment and living standards of agricultural labourers, and this inquiry is expected to bring forth information on all aspects of the subject. The points raised by the mover from the subject matter of the inquiry that would be conducted, sir, with regard to the questions raised by Mr. Atal Bihari Vajpayee, they are larger questions and they are dealt with in the 7th 5-year plan itself. The government is taking necessary steps in the direction of consolidation of holdings, and the latest position of the Planning Commission. I crave the indulgence of the House for making this statement on the opening day of the Parliament, as I wish to take honorable members into confidence at the earliest opportunity about the extremely difficult foreign exchange position in which we find ourselves at present. Our foreign exchange reserves have declined more or less steadily during the current fiscal year. Some decline during the months of April, September, when export receipts are usually low, is a normal feature of our balance of payments. The decline in reserves during April-September 1984, however, was almost twice as large as in the same period of 1983. The decline in reserves has continued during the past 4 or 5 months, when we should normally be gaining reserves in order to meet the requirements of the coming lean season for exports. On February 12, 1985, the foreign assets of the Reserve Bank stood at about rupees 700 crores. As honorable members are aware, the Reserve Bank is required to hold a minimum rupees 800 crores of reserve in the form of gold and foreign securities. The Reserve Bank has been able, in fact, to abide by this requirement for some time only on the basis of a transfer to the Bank of Gold, which the government had acquired over the years. The recent decline in reserves is the result of a variety of factors in view of shortages of food grains in the country and the pressure on prices we have had to provide for larger imports of food and fertilizers against free foreign exchange. Payments on account of defense imports have also been increasing, and we have had to provide for larger repayment obligations in respect of the growing volume of our indebtedness abroad. While exports have been rising, the increase this year had not been as large as in 1983-1984, and it has not been reflected fully in the receipt of foreign exchange. A part of the increase in exports has been to countries with whom settlements in trade and payments are made in rupees. There is reason to believe that export earnings have been lower because of higher interest rates elsewhere. A part of the decline in reserves may therefore be short term in character and may be expected to reverse itself step.